Hello, everyone. My name is Suzette. I am a digital business owner. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you're watching from. And if you're watching live or you're watching the replay, this is live right now. So I'm a digital business owner. And tonight I will be interviewing one of my business partners. Um, I will be doing some interviews this week, possibly next week. Either I will be interviewing someone or they will be interviewing me. So tonight I will be interviewing a business partner. Her name is Anna, and I will bring her on and let her introduce herself. Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, how are
Hi.
you?
I'm so excited to be here, Suzette. Thank you so much for inviting me.
No
Good night,
problem.
good morning, good afternoon, I guess. I don't know. Wherever in the world everybody is.
Yes.
I'm like, wait a minute, what day is it? Or the time. Happy Tuesday, I believe. So of course, I'm Anna and I'm originally from St. Vincent, but I live in Ontario, Canada, and I'm a toddler mom, so you might hear live and direct. As you know, we're real people over here. And I am banking and educational industry as well. And of course, I'm in the digital space. That's a little bit about
Yes.
me.
Yes. Okay, so I have some questions here to ask. All right, let's get in here. My first question is, how did you first discover this business?
Sure. I mean, for me, I was in like such a season of prayer, and I was really searching. I was searching and figuring out, but I didn't want to just dabble in everything. I tried to do a little bit. I was kind of in a moment where I don't know if you know those surveys, and they're like 20 cents, and I'm like, my goodness, 3 hours and only 20 cents, right? Doing a little bit of everything, but I knew for myself I got to start the search, and lo and behold, such a strong season, especially that one night. And I saw another mom on a social media platform and was checking off what I wanted specifically. And it was specific flexibility. It was making sure I have the key in regards to having multiple sources. And let me tell you something. I was like, stop it. Because growing up, I have always, thankful my family. I mean, I was always exposed to making sure you have something else always going on. So I was
Yes.
exposed that I was exposed to business. I wasn't shy about that. But another mom was telling me that they had one business with multiple sources, and I was like, tell me more. And that's a little bit about how I came about into stepping into this space.
Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of people are skeptical about
Mhm.
anything online. They don't want to take a chance. I understand that,
Mhm.
but sometimes you just need to take a chance and jump in.
I know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, before you got started working online, were you skeptical like most people are about anything online, or did you just jump right in?
Mhm. I'm so sorry. You said for persons who are online. I
Before,
definitely wasn't one of those who, you know what? I'm not going to say those who are skeptical or those who have a little bit of fear or doubts or anything. I feel like it's fine. That happens. Either one, maybe you've encountered some negative experiences, or two, as at least for us Caribbean people, sometimes you're like, oh, I hear so and so said this, and they don't even know if that's the same thing, right? So it's so important. It's so important to check for yourself. But for me, it wasn't. I said, you know what? It's either going to be for me or it's not going to be for me. And in order for me to know, I can't make an assumption. And that was just me.
yeah. Okay. Okay. What does a typical day of working online look like for you?
You know what? What I will say is what is typical? What is typical right now? Because life is life in all the time.
Yes.
But for me, you know what? I've gone from some days because I started when my little one was really, really early baby in a way. So I mean, it went from going from when they were available and when they're not available, which is usually when they're sleeping. So the time differed. So whether it was maybe half an hour here, half an hour there, and it kind of just added up to whether 2 hours or so forth. But when I first started, I wanted to make sure I wanted to review the training. So I was really dwelling a lot within there because I wanted to make sure I can start the best way. Can not just start the best way? You want to make sure you are following the training that are, that I didn't even have to do all that background for. So it was important for me. So now, from time to time, it's still 1 to 2 hours. I definitely, if I can on a day, if I can give more, I give more. I wouldn't say
Mhm.
it's always straight out, but sometimes it's the night. And for those who are sometimes parents, or at least you don't do night shift work or things like that,
Yeah.
it's evening times for me. It's definitely evening times for me. The midnight oil, and I go in and I check out for my business, of course, but throughout
Okay.
the day periodically. Consistent night.
Yeah, I prefer to do things at night as
Yes.
well. I sometimes stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning. That's just the best time for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What challenges have you had to face as a business owner?
Challenge. I don't know if I'll use that word, so to speak, but I suppose it's me. It's me of how what I had to kind of overcome that I was accustomed. But like I said, I came on, I went straight in. There wasn't even a too much hesitation. I prayed again after I realized this might be an option for me, and I went in. But what persons may not know is that you can find me. You can really find me on social media. And I
Okay.
mean, for some, they're like, oh, well, your generation and so forth. And you couldn't. It's so funny. Like I maybe about a year into starting my business, I had a very old, way back primary school childhood friend, and they're like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for you for years. And they were so excited. And I mean, obviously, it was a good friendship and everything like that. But you lose touch, right? And they're just like, what? I couldn't believe I found you. I've been
Okay.
searching. That's how much of a presence I did not have online. And I'm also a very private individual. So what I had to get back into, which was just simply saying, you know what? I if and of course, I mean, even a year ago or so, many persons are aware, even when they had those times when the whole day we couldn't access certain platforms, and you saw some information, and you said to yourself, wait a minute, that's how much can go into being in this platform and things like that. And without being an influencer, to be honest with you, that challenge, it wasn't really a challenge for me. It was just getting out of my own way, and for me, and I just said, you know what I'm doing is not working, so therefore I'm trying something new. It's not something that's compromising my morals or my values, and
Right.
I still can be the private individual. I am showing what I choose to, and I have fun with everyone who I get to meet as well online. So you know what? I don't really call it a challenge because it was so minute for me. I was like, it's okay. And
Okay.
when you understand just how amazing this business is, it's not something I need to be shy about. I love to get to know persons as they get to know me.
Right. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay.
It was just a little low, but I can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay. All right. Would you say that this business is for everyone or no?
I would say no. I would say it's not for everyone. Absolutely
Right.
not. Because you know what? Just like how we all have our likes or dislikes, all of that stuff. It's same. It is 100% same. If you're willing to learn, yes. Do you have specific goals? Yes, it is for you. Because who it is for is for anyone from any background, any age, anything like that. I mean, really and truly, it's not a problem. But if you're get into your own head and you're
Right.
either someone who likes to make assumptions, or you are one of those persons who constantly waits, right? You constantly wait, and
Yeah.
potentially, as the saying goes, you pray about something, and then when the prayer, you don't also pray that God opens up your eyes to see it, right? It's such
Right.
a common saying. Sometimes you pray about it, but you forget to say, can you open my eyes to see it? Because then it whoosh, it passes by,
Yeah,
right? So I would say no, it's not for everyone, but it's really the mindset for persons. And you know what? It may not be a right fit for you. It may be. So it's really gonna be up to you. The factors is gonna be for yourself, and it's if whatever you're comfortable with. And it's okay with that. And I love that about this business that you know what? There is no one forcing you. Even right now, no one's forcing me. After starting, before starting, there's no pressure. You get your time, you take your time, you figure it out, you give it a chance, and you go from there because it is your business. So you're going to operate this business like your baby. So you're going to nurture it in order to reap, right?
that's right. Okay. How has this business helped you grow as a person?
Oh my goodness. So as I mentioned to the challenge with the social media, I mean, I would not have thought to myself, we're live here, so many other things. But definitely I wouldn't think I'm on live. It definitely has increased my mindset. I mean, I have always been a positive minded individual. I have always been self-motivated. Definitely my family, gotta pick them up, instilling that as well, and just the personality. But it's just another level when you can that mindset key that this business actually focuses on you all around. It's not just the financial, it's not just of course hitting those goals, of course, whether it's
Right.
family, whether it's travel, whether it's reducing hours, it's 100% building for yourself.
That's right.
Sometimes you find a zest or interest for things that you're like, wait a minute. And it's just the passionate part. It's so contagious, first of all, when you start your business. But it's honestly, it's just development as a person. And I'm just so excited about it. And I feel like it's something that which, I mean, come on, if you hear all those quotes, you never stop growing, right? You never stop
Right.
growing and learning.
True.
And that's what I'm all about.
Okay. Yeah, you sound like just your voice alone. You sound like a very positive, happy person.
Mostly, unless I'm hangry. I'm such a foodie.
Me too. Me too. I have to eat when I have to eat.
I'm like, you know what? Give me a minute. I'm gonna talk to you after I eat.
Okay. Is there anything that caught you by surprise once you started working online?
No, like I said, for me, there was no pressure, and for anyone, there's actually no pressure. But what I 100% enjoyed is that I could have got the information for myself, and I love that we have that access to it. Should someone wish, that if they wanted to have that information, they can take their time and review it. So for me, immersing myself, doing my own research, there were no other surprises for me. Because if you ask the right
Okay.
questions and you make sure you get the information for yourself, the surprises there's none, at least
Minimum.
for me.
Yeah. Okay. So, as a mom of a young one, how will this business benefit your child and your family in general?
You know what? That's a great question. I feel that, and I was just seeing maybe a couple days ago, someone was just talking about, here they are trying to do their role. They're going above and beyond, and they're giving it all. They're giving it all because maybe A, you're passionate about
Mm.
it, or two,
Yeah.
traditionally, we are hard workers anyway in the Caribbean, right?
Right.
And we do what we gotta do. But after that, what's left? What's left for your child? So, A, it's making sure we get that time with them for all the moments that it is. And you know what? For me, whether it's the small moments, the big moments, I'm here for it. It's also making sure with that time, you can also give them a legacy. And I feel like people
Right.
throw that word around, but to be honest with you, for your role, as much as you want to, you don't always. You can't. I mean, even if you have your traditional business or practice, medical practice or whatnot, and everybody in the family becomes, kudos to you, doctors or whatnot. Ideally, you still can't necessarily pass it on fully because the
That's right.
structure and benefit within this business is that you can literally make sure your child or children can get set up within this business, whether they don't choose to be as operational, so to speak, but they can be able to receive, up to their lifetime. And that, I feel that that bypasses, because now you have that time with them. And two, you're not just saying for now, you're thinking forward. You're thinking, you
Right.
know what? Wow, what can I do with this extra that they can receive that without doing anything? By the time they're the adult age, they have some a little something, right?
That's right. Like
Mhm,
my two children are adults now, and I'm so glad I have this business. I have something that I can pass to them,
mhm,
and which means I'm gonna have to start showing them, teaching them the business.
mhm,
And like with the cost of everything right now, like things are expensive for us now. What's gonna happen when they get older and when like
mhm,
future grandchildren come along and great grandchildren and so on? What are things gonna cost then? I can't imagine. I'm so glad I have this business. Yeah,
mhm.
yeah. Okay. Only a small percentage of business owners or entrepreneurs succeed in business. Why do you think this is?
Well, I feel, I mean, it goes back to the first in regards to even starting. You have to check your mindset. And I would hope, well, not always. I mean, you might see so many reels about, especially traditional entrepreneurs. It's, they have all of them have the titles, one person, right? You have the person who's on social media, you have the person who does the accounting, they wear many
Mhm.
hats.
Yes,
What I love, about this business, and to each their own. But for me, I love that there's so much going on in the back end that I don't have to worry about it.
right,
In addition, I don't have to give all that time, because I get it. A lot of persons, you maybe shift over to the traditional, and then you're like, wait a minute, I feel like I'm more burnt out, or it's equal, right, to when I was in my role. And I love that within this, you can still carve that time. And even if you don't know how to carve that time because you're not accustomed, or if you get busy with growth as it does in life, guess what? You have that support, whether it's community support, whether it's training, whether it's, through information, articles that is still provided by this business, because again, it's all rounded. You're having that support, and the support is not just mentoring or coaching. It's also making sure, well, hey, these are some scenarios that maybe you can encounter. How can we still help that, as well? It's also, hey, we're always online, what can we also help to do that? I mean, a lot of persons, especially if you're someone who works on laptops all the time, we
yeah,
have lots of help within that to make sure, what, mind, body, soul, so to speak. So
yeah,
I feel that a lot of persons tend not to, one, mindset, and two, they may not have as much support as we do as well. And it could be just not for them. Let's just throw that out there. It'll be
true,
realistic.
true. Yeah, I'm so glad that we have the support that we have,
Hmm.
and like the system is like 90% done. We just have to plug in that 10% and go.
Hmm.
I think, um, I think the number one reason why any business or entrepreneurs don't make it
Hmm.
is a lack of patience, because
Mm.
they might be
That's a big
thinking,
one.
oh, I'm gonna start making some money next week or today or 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
It could take years before your business actually takes off.
Mm-hmm.
And not
Yes.
everybody has that patience.
Yes.
Yeah,
But you gotta say, you also have to make sure, um, however you have set up, you actually, have your P's, your Q's, you dot your I's to make sure it's
yeah,
something sustainable. And then
yeah,
it's not just if, it's a when, right? I
right,
feel like we have to
right,
make sure that.
right. Okay. And my final question, what advice would you give someone who is sitting on the fence about getting started in this business or any business?
Back to the beginning. You know what? First of all, a lot of persons don't know what it is that they specifically want. A lot of
Right,
persons, so the first
exactly.
step is see for yourself, what actually are you looking for? Make a list if you got to make a list, because guess what? There are so many things out there, and some things are for you, some things aren't for you. Maybe. you think that I could never manage a business. And this business is not a traditional business. So for sure, it's not something that that fair hundred thousands of times persons have had it and they recognize it's not the same persons who have had a traditional business before as well. The second thing is check your mindset, because if you think you can't,
Mm,
then you're not going to, right?
mhm. Right,
Fairs are healthy, that's all right, but for me, make sure you don't make an assumption. I always say this: don't make an assumption, make sure you get the information for yourself, because you can hear from Tuzette, you can hear from me, we could talk till we blue. But the point is, you know what? I liked information and I knew I had to check it out for myself, because seeing and hearing is a different thing, right?
right,
So
right,
those are my two things, and then decide after that checklist and go from there.
right. Yes, I think it's a great thing to invest in yourself. I never knew anything about investing in myself until I started this business. I didn't know that that was a thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Absolutely.
So we have some visitors here, Petagay, Samantha, my coach, and Roxanne. I don't see any questions here. So I guess that's it for tonight. Thank you so much, Anna, for joining me.
You are welcome. I'm so excited. Glad we are having our interviews back. I'm so excited. Can't wait to see
Yes.
your next guest.
Oh, I have someone else lined
I
up.
know.
All right.
Thank you
Well,
so much, everyone.
thank you. Okay, bye-bye, Anna. Thank you.